general knowledge questions per se, but questions on things that are happening around you, questions that you probably need to test your bias with, or question your own perceptions on things that are very, very in your close vicinity, and answer that. So it's really as simple as that, nothing too complicated. We don't like to complicate life on IFQ. If anything, just make it simple. So Ashish Suri, a very warm welcome. This is your first time to the Game of Facts, and let me tell you, it is not going to be your last. So very simply, what you need to do is, you'll be seeing this screen maybe on your laptop or something of that sort. If you have another device, or if you have your phone, if you can please just log into www.kahoot.it. Don't download anything, just use the web browser. And the game pin is in the chat box. It's 252520. Put that in. It'll ask for your name, your email ID. Just go ahead, do all of that. We do not keep any data unless you want to give it to us. And that's pretty much it. You need to, you will see the question and the answers that will appear on your screen. And you just keep, it's very intuitive. You just go ahead and answer. Now, just so that you get comfortable with the interface, we have 3 poll questions, and then we get into the actual quiz. And what happens at the end of this quiz is that the 3 top winners will receive a book. This week, we've selected Salman Rushdie's Haroun and the Sea of Stories. And we've been very thoughtful while selecting this book, because Salman Rushdie as an author is very controversial for more than one reasons. And his books can probably be very nice, or can be very, very difficult to decode. Haroun and the Sea of Stories is clearly one of those books which are exceptional in his stable of books. And we thought, well, it's a writer who's had a very interesting month, not for very good reasons, but why not give his book? All right. So Haroun and the Sea of Stories is a fantastical tale. And yes, Udit says satanic verses would do the ultimate. I didn't get the rest of it. Okay. Would do the ultimate justice as a giveaway. Well, yes, Udit, but I believe, and I've read Shalimar the Clown, and that book really, really, I really wanted to meet with the writer and have a chat on that. So it was a book that I really didn't quite enjoy. I did not enjoy it at all. But this particular book is really something that you will forgive the author for. All right, if nothing else. So this is the book that we have. He wrote this for his son Zafar, and it's written with a lot of fantastical childlike imagination, but at the same time, it's a very sensible, good book, we think. And we have our book reviewer here. So Udit, if you win this book, looking forward to your views on this book. But that's about it. So I hope, Ashish, you've settled in. We will take you through the process. And in between, if you feel like you haven't got a hang of something, just stop us. There's Shweta, Meenal, and I, and we will try and help you as much as we can. The game pin, Kishore, is in the chat box, but still it's 252520. All of these questions that you see, if you just apply logic and common sense and keep your bias to the side, you're in a good place. These are really not information that is there in textbooks. So IFQ, Game of Facts, is really not about general knowledge. It is about your own relationship and observation and what you're seeing in the world around you. It's as simple as that. So I'm now going to share screen, and a very warm welcome again to each and every one of you. It's wonderful to see all of you here, and I wish you all the very best. It's so nice to see some familiar names here. Nishant, we're not going anywhere. We owe you a response. Dipankar, so good to see you here. I always look forward to when I'm going to see Adya and Arya and Shreyan and just all of you who join week on week. Udit's been AWOL for a few weeks, but nice to see you back. And Kartikeya, so good to see you and everyone else. And yeah, we're ready to go with our poll questions. Ashish, just so you know, these poll questions will make you feel a little more comfortable on the interface, on the format of the quiz, and then we'll get straight into the quiz. I have good news for you. We do not have a puzzle question this week, so I hope it just makes the whole process much simpler. So we're going to start off now. Hi, Amrita, you made it in good time. Good evening. And it's been some very interesting, intense weeks of quizzing here. And we get on with our first poll questions. These are just random questions. We're very inquisitive people at IFQ, and we want to know everything that's going on in your life, and we want to know who you are. So what's your greatest fear while traveling? Is it losing your bag? Is it missing your bus or train or ship or plane? Is it a crying baby sitting next to you? Or is it motion sickness? I'll tell you my greatest fear, having somebody sitting next to me who will be sneezing right through the trip. And as bad luck has it, I will always be sitting next to somebody who sneezes. Okay, so clearly it is missing your, yes, it's so complicated, right? You miss a plane or a bus and then just getting the next one, and the whole logistics around it is just so painful. Losing bags, yes, that is another big one. And then the whole process of trying to get the bag and the time you waste and the angst and the pain. And then it is motion sickness. Yes, that is a real thing. But you do, by the way, now have medicines that can take care of it. And of course, the crying baby sitting next to you. So, well, all very legit. So we don't have to feel bad about picking one or the other. All right, another question. While traveling, you are generally, which is 8 out of 10 times ahead of time because you don't want the stress of reaching late. You are always on time. You just about make it. It's not, and you know, you get lucky. And then of course you're fashionably late. And then it's really, you know, your luck if you get it. Okay, so we're very conscientious here. So we like to be ahead of time and, you know, generally not cope with all the stress that comes with it. And then of course we kind of make it on time. We're on time, and then 6 of us are like fashionably late. I think sometimes I would kind of fall into that unwittingly. I'm so nervous and, you know, to be on time, and yet I'll somehow end up getting late. All right. Okay. Another question. While packing for a holiday, you are generally the type who packs too many clothes. You overthink scenarios, oh, this will happen, that will happen, and then you end up with overweight bags. You pack and then you miss out the most important things, or you just generally pack light and pack everything and pack light. You've cracked the code. Okay, so looks like we're between two extremes. So one who cracked the code and the other who just packed too many clothes. I invariably overthink scenarios and I will end up packing way too much and things that I probably won't use the entire trip, but I'm packing for that contingency and then, you know, it doesn't happen. All right. So I hope it's been easy and you've got a hang of it. And if you have, I'm now going to get into the quiz. 10 questions, multiple choice, true or false. Luckily, we don't have puzzle questions. So this should be pretty easy breezy. That is, of course, internet connection and all of that holding up. Just remember, in case I need to reconnect for some reason, just hang in there. I'll make sure that I'm back. Anyway, I have my backup in Meenal, so that's all taken care of. Please don't forget, immediately after my quiz, Meenal starts her quiz. I actually saw the questions and I am so envious because she has got such a lovely set of questions that you must stay on for the Hindi quiz as well. And of course, you win it, you get to walk away with 2 books. So here we are, another week of quizzing. And well, August is pretty much over. We have barely 4 months left to this year too. And it's been an interesting year, right? Of course, the more interesting times are yet to come. But yeah, here we are, the fag end of August, 75 years of India since independence. And I think the best is yet to come for all of us. So here we have it. The first question, it's a true or false, and you get double points for this one. The amount of money lost or online and ATMs to debit and credit card fraud has increased over the last 3 to 4 years. Is this statement true or false? We're talking about all the money, which is essentially comprises of financial cybercrime, has increased over the last 3 to 4 years. 13 of you said false, and actually you are correct. Now, this is a statement which has been put in the parliament, which is really the Reserve Bank of India data. So it's as legit as it gets. The amount involved in financial cybercrime has actually decreased since 2019, 2020. So 2019 to 2020, it was about 185 crores. 2020, 2021, it was about 160. And in the last financial year, it is 128 crores. So it has come down. It's always a good marker of a very on-the-ball regulator when you see indicators like this. And with that, I'm going to move to the scoreboard so you can get a hang of who answered this question right and was the fastest. In the chat box, you will also see the source from where we have got this answer. And please feel free to ask us even after the quiz, or we send it out sometimes in the newsletter, or you can just, ask us whenever you need it. All right, so we have Parisha, Vanshika, and Tequila Tom in the top 3 places. And then we have Karthikeya and Udit on the scoreboard as well. This game is never over till the last question because we have the double points and all of that. So just keep at it. Don't think like, oh, I'm not on the scoreboard, this is not working for me, because it's very, very easy to bounce into the scoreboard, even right at the end of this quiz. Okay, the next question, double points for this one. The toll-free number 1930 will help you get real-time AQI in your area or the weather forecast. With this number, you can get your balance in the government provident fund, or you can report financial cyber fraud. 1930, it's an important number to note, okay? So 35 of you kind of caught the drift. Remember, this number is very important. If for any reason you have either detected something wrong in your online net banking system or ATM or any of that, put your complaint on the portal, which is the cybercrime portal, as well as make sure you call 1930, which is the toll-free number, and record and make sure you give your complaint there as well. Okay. And the scoreboard. It's Karthikeya, Udit, Tequila Tom, Paras, and Nishant. And the next question coming up, double points for this one. Percentage of students surveilling midday meals in schools across India, is it 72%, 82%, 42%, or 92%? This is when we say schools across India, we mean government schools or schools that are given government aid. So it could be private as well as government aid. 15 of you went for the highest number, and you are correct. 92% of students in Indian schools have or make use of the midday meal that they are provided in schools. This is basically one hot cooked meal in a day, which they are provided free of cost in schools. Okay, we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and we have Kartikeya, Udit, Sukha, Padmaja, and Tequila Tom. Okay. Next one, percentage of teachers who agree that midday meals increased enrollment and improved attendance. This was really a Niti Aayog study that was undertaken. Is it 82%, 92%, 72%, or 42%? So it is 92% of teachers have seen an increased enrollment and improved attendance, which they have reported. Again, there are a lot of children across households in India that depend on the midday meal for providing their child at least one full meal in the day, and therefore becomes extremely critical to families. Also, you can imagine what would have happened during COVID when schools were shut. A lot of children just lost access to getting that hot meal in school. Of course, there was sort of, provisions taken to make sure that, you overcome this, but it never is quite the same, right? So even if you try and make sure that, the child gets access to dry rations, it doesn't really happen the way it is. And therefore, just having school open is so critical in many parts of this country. Okay, we'll take a look at the scoreboard and a bit of a tumble. It's Udit now, Sukha, Kartikeya, Paris, and Gaurav. And the next true or false, double points for this question. Apart from one hot cooked meal, PM Portion Scheme also provides milk, eggs, fruits to students. Is the statement true or false? So 7 of you said false, and you are correct. Now, PM Portion Scheme is restricted to one hot cooked meal in the day. However, there are many states across the country who have to then use their own resources to provide milk, eggs, and fruits to students. So it sort of is, a combination of the state and the central government, but PM Portion is restricted to just the midday meal, and then it's the state governments. For example, Karnataka provides eggs. A lot of states do try and provide, more supplements, etc., but that will come from the state exchequer. So it's now Udit, Sukha, Dipankar, Padmaja, and Kartikeya. And we'll get into the next true or false and double points for this one. Number of cases of elephant tusk or ivory theft has decreased over the last 3 to 4 years. Is the statement true or false? So unfortunately, it is false. I so wish we could have answered true on this one. But in 2019, there were 27 reported cases of elephants being, sort of cornered for ivory. In 2020, it was about 21 cases, and in 2021, it was 42. So in fact, we're seeing a sharp increase. And this is probably where we really have to have very good measures for anti-poaching and, make sure that our Indian forestry services and, the people who are managing our national reserves, national parks, have all the resources they need, especially the technology they need to make sure that this doesn't happen. So we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and this question created quite a bit of tumble, actually. It's Pratham, Udit, Divine, Sukha, and Shweta. Another true or false, and double points for this one. Elephant deaths by poaching has decreased over or since 2019. Now we know that the theft of ivory has increased. We're asking about elephant deaths by poaching. Is this statement true or false? Again, we're really not doing enough for elephants in India, seems like, because in 2018-19, there were about 6 deaths reported, 6 elephant deaths reported by poaching. That number went up to 9 in 2019-2020. The latest recorded number is 14. And on the scoreboard, it's Pratham, Divine, Dipankar has bounced back in, Padmaja and Shweta. So things happen on this scoreboard. Double points for this question. This state reported the highest number of elephant deaths by poaching. Is it Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or Meghalaya? So it is Meghalaya, which is a little surprising because somehow intuitively I probably would have gone for, while most of you have gone for Odisha, I probably would have gone for Kerala. But it is Meghalaya, and 7 deaths, elephant deaths, have been reported. And this is caused by poaching. Yes, which is the highest. All right, we'll take a look at the scoreboard, and we still have 2 questions, so we're not going anywhere. It's Padmaja, Dipankar, Pratham, Divine, and Sukha, and we still have 2 questions. This is a true or false, and double points for this question. The Mahatma Gandhi series of banknotes, came out in 2005, were redesigned in 2015, making it easy for the general public to identify a fake note from a genuine one. Is this true or false? Okay, so there is this number exploding visual, which is on the Mahatma Gandhi series of notes, which was redesigned in 2015. And it was redesigned keeping in mind to help the general public identify a genuine note from a fake one. So these are really measures that the RBI comes up with from time to time, trying to make sure that it's easy for people and citizens in general to be able to, detect a genuine from a fake note, because fake currency clearly is a huge issue in this country. All right, so quickly a look at the scoreboard. Dipankar's on a roll today, and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. And then we have Pratham, Sukha, Padmaja, and Bharat. Everyone's playing really, really well today. And we have the last question. It's a true or false again. The value of fake currency seized in 2020 was lesser in comparison to fake currency seized in 2017. So we are comparing the value of fake currency, which was seized in 2020 to 2017. So 18 of you said that the statement is false, and you are correct. In 2017, the value of fake currency seized was to the tune of 28.10 crores. In 2020, it was 92.18 crores. And this is, again, government data. So it's kind of interesting to see how some things get better and some things just get doubly worse. But it's not enough for us to get negative or dejected or anything about. What's very important, and I think something we really, all of us need to take heart in, is that this data is out there. And now it is for us to do something with the data and to either demand accountability or to do our own bit as citizens and make sure that this data changes to the way it ought to. So with that, we come to an end of this quiz, and Meenal's Hindi quiz is coming up soon, but I'm going to share the podium, and then immediately we'll put in the game pin for Meenal's game and stay on for that. So here we have it. On the podium this week, in number 3 position, we have Sukha. In the second position, we have Pratham Singh. And in the first position this week, it's Dipankar. Congratulations, Dipankar. Very well played. Bharat and Padmaja are runner-ups, but Pratham, Dipankar, and Sukha, the 3 of you are going to receive Haroun and the Sea of Stories, and we really want to know what you think about that book. So you will see the Google form that will come at the end, or it will be in the chat box. Please put in your details and we'll have the book sent across to you. Please just hold on. I'm going to now leave, and Meenal's going to come over and take you through the Hindi quiz. So have a great week, but not so soon yet. Have that after we have the Hindi quiz. All right. Bye, everyone.
गुड इवनिंग, हेलो, नमस्कार. आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हिंदी क्विज में. अभी अभी आपने इंग्लिश क्विज खेला है, विच आई फील यू एंजॉयड, और इसी तरह हम हिंदी क्विज भी खेलेंगे. और अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको हिंदी पढ़ने में थोड़ी सी मुश्किल होती है, स्टिल डोंट गो एनीवेयर. आई ट्रांसलेट द क्वेश्चंस एज सून एज पॉसिबल इन इंग्लिश फॉर यू, ताकि आप जल्द से जल्द उसका उत्तर दे सके. और इस क्विज के बाद भी, इस क्विज के एंड में 3 ऑफ यू विल गेट टू वॉक अवे विद अ बुक. और जो आज की हमारी बुक है उसके बारे में मैं आपको अभी थोड़ी देर में बताऊंगी, बट स्टिल आस्किंग यू टू स्टे ऑन बिकॉज वी हैव 10 अमेजिंग क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आई होप यू लाइक, एंड किसी तरह वो आपके बायसेस टेस्ट करने में आपकी हेल्प करेंगे. और क्या पता कुछ ऐसी स्ट्राइकिंग इंफॉर्मेशन आपको उन क्वेश्चन से मिले, उन डेटा पॉइंट से मिले दैट यू नेवर थॉट वुड एक्चुअली हैपन. तो मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करने वाली हूँ और आप जल्द से जल्द हमारे क्विज में एंटर कर सकते हैं. गेम पिन चैट बॉक्स में आपके साथ शेयर किया गया है. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू पुट इट इन Kahoot 720832. और जैसे कि हम देख रहे हैं कि आप लोग जब तक आप गेम पिन एंटर करके गेम में आ रहे हैं, मैं आपको बताती हूँ कि आज की जो हमारी किताब है, दैट 3 ऑफ यू विल विन. इट्स एन अमेजिंग बुक अगेन, एक क्लासिक है, और ये प्रेमचंद जी की ही एक किताब है. कुछ हफ्तों से हम उनकी किताबें दे रहे हैं, इसलिए क्योंकि वो इतनी प्रसिद्ध हैं हमारे हिंदी लिटरेचर में और क्लासिक्स हैं. सो वी वांट टू शेयर दोज बुक्स विद यू, एंड वी वांट कि आप उन्हें पढ़ें और हमें बताएं दैट हाउ डू यू लाइक देम. तो आज की जो हमारी किताब है, इसका नाम है गबन, और ये मुंशी प्रेमचंद जी ने लिखी है. It was first published in about 1931, or this was, I think, 5 years before Premchand ji's death. और this book, ये जो किताब है, gives us a fascinating glimpse of the Indian society. जो Indian society है उसके बारे में एक glimpse देती है. More so जो उनकी अपनी community है जिससे वो belong करते हैं, that is the कायस्थ community, उसके बारे में भी उन्होंने इस किताब में लिखा है. और उस कम्युनिटी में जो उसके the ills of the community are also described in the book. So the 3 of you who get to walk away with this book, do tell us how you like the Hindi books. I'm sure English book readers ज़्यादा होते हैं, but we're trying कि हिंदी जो books हैं वो भी आप लोग पढ़ें and you enjoy it. So कोई poll questions नहीं है हमारे हिंदी quiz में, क्योंकि अभी आपने पूरा quiz खेला है. So what we'll do is we'll straight away begin with the quiz. तो अगर कोई और है जो अभी भी गेम में एंटर करना चाहता है, आप प्लीज जल्द से जल्द गेम पिन को यूज कीजिए और Kahoot पे अपना नेम और ईमेल आईडी डालकर जल्दी से हमारे साथ जुड़ जाएंगे. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर स्टेइंग ऑन, थैंक यू सो मच। एंड जो हमारे पिछले क्विज के विनर्स हैं, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस टू यू दीपांकर, आई थिंक आई रेड पद्मजा, आई एम नॉट रियली श्योर, बट ओके, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस टू ऑल ऑफ यू। एंड आई होप कि आज के क्विज के भी जो हमारे 3 विजेता है वो बहुत खुश होकर, प्रसन्न होकर जाएंगे। सो वील जस्ट बिगिन नाउ। चलते हैं हमारे पहले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। जो आज के हमारे क्विज के सारे सोर्सेज हैं, इट्स ऑल फ्रॉम द सेम सोर्स। तो ये जो क्वेश्चंस के सोर्स लिंक है, दैट वी शेयर बाय द एंड ऑफ द क्विज। तो आज के जो हमारे सारे सोर्सेज हैं फ्रॉम वन, जो भी क्वेश्चंस है सारे एक ही सोर्स से हैं। तो ये हम जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन है उसके बाद आपके साथ ये लिंक शेयर करेंगे। एंड टिल देन आई होप दैट यू प्ले अलोंग। डबल पॉइंट्स क्वेश्चंस हैं, पजल क्वेश्चंस भी हैं, ट्रू और फॉल्स भी हैं। इट्स गोइंग टू बी एन इजियर वन, आई होप। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं हमारे फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन के साथ। उन लोगों का प्रतिशत जिनके पास आधार कार्ड है, परसेंटेज ऑफ पीपल हु हैव एन आधार कार्ड इन इंडिया। आपके हिसाब से क्या ये 98% है, 90% है, 80% है या 75% है? हमारे देश में आपके हिसाब से कितने प्रतिशत जो लोग हैं उनके पास आधार कार्ड है? आधार कार्ड आई थिंक इट्स मैंडेटरी, हाँ ओके। 22 ऑफ यू वेंट विद 98%, थोड़ा सा उससे कम है, काफी एक्चुअली। जब मैं भी पढ़ रही थी इस डेटा को, सो आई आल्सो थॉट दैट इट शुड बी एट इट्स मैक्स, बट इट्स स्टिल एट 90% एंड 7 ऑफ यू गॉट दिस करेक्ट। हमारे देश में फिलहाल जिन लोगों के पास आधार कार्ड है, इट्स अबाउट 90%। So with our first question, हमारा scoreboard हमारे सामने है, and we have मदन, डोमी, शेट्टी, निहारिका एंड श्रेयन, जिन्होंने फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन के बाद स्कॉरबोर्ड पे अपनी जगह ले ली है। चलते हैं हमारे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ, और ये डबल पॉइंट्स के लिए है। 18 वर्ष से कम आयु के बच्चों में भारत में अनाथों का प्रतिशत, अमंग चिल्ड्रन अंडर एज 18, द परसेंटेज ऑफ ऑर्फन्स इन इंडिया। हम आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि जो अंडर 18 इयर्स ऑफ एज जो बच्चे हैं, उनमें नंबर ऑफ द परसेंटेज ऑफ ऑर्फन्स इन आवर कंट्री। और आपके ऑप्शन है 25%, 1%, 5% या 35%। ओके, 14 ऑफ यू गॉट दिस करेक्ट, और जो करेक्ट आंसर है दैट इज 5%। जो 5% ऐसे बच्चे हैं who are 18 years और below, जो कि ऑर्फन्स हैं, एंड उनमें से अबाउट 3%, नॉट उनमें से, जो 3% बच्चे हैं, दे आर नॉट लिविंग विद अ बायोलॉजिकल पेरेंट। सो विद दिस आवर स्कोरबोर्ड वंस अगेन, और टोटली चेंज हो चुका है, इट्स कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट नाउ। वी हैव किशोर, एना, स्वाति, तुषार एंड मयूर who are on our scoreboard now after the second question. तो चलते हैं हमारे अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ। भारत में 1/3 से अधिक घरों में कम से कम एक मच्छरदानी है। More than 1/3 of households in India have at least one mosquito net. आपके हिसाब से क्या ये सही है या गलत? हम मस्कीटो नेट की बात कर रहे हैं, और हमारे देश में more than 1/3 of households have it. And 22 of you got this correct. It's a very, I mean, why are we talking about मच्छरदानी? That's because क्योंकि हमारे देश में problems related to mosquitoes बहुत ज्यादा है, whether it's malaria, dengue or any other insect borne or mosquito borne disease. और जो हमारे more than 1/3 of households जो है हमारे देश में, they use a mosquito net, and that's about 36%. और वहीं 8% have at least one insecticide treated mosquito net, which is ITN. So with this, our scoreboard slight shift. We have Kishore, Anna still maintaining their lead, और उनके बाद है Divine, Anuj, Gaurav. Okay, moving on to our next question. पुरुषों की तुलना में अधिक महिलाएं जिनकी आयु 15 वर्ष और उससे अधिक है तंबाकू उत्पाद का उपयोग करती हैं। More women than men aged 15 and over currently use any tobacco products. आपके हिसाब से क्या ये सही है या गलत? हम कह रहे हैं कि जो ज्यादा महिलाएं हैं who are above the age of 15 years वो tobacco products का इस्तेमाल करती हैं. Wow, that's a fun one. So we have 18 of you who got this correct and 18 of you who didn't get this correct. ये गलत है. More men, of course, are using any tobacco products, which is about 38%, and for women, it's about at 9%. So with this, our scoreboard once again, बहुत ही slight shift. End में हमने देखा है कि प्रथम अभी हमारे scoreboard पे आ चुके हैं. I hope you're happy with that, and I hope you go you're at a better position ताकि आप end में जीत भी पाए. So we'll move on to our next question. Okay. Ananya is asking me to translate it quickly. Okay, I'll try to be quicker. चलते हैं हमारे अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. ये एक पजल क्वेश्चन है और डबल पॉइंट्स के लिए है. इन घरेलू सामानों को ग्रामीण परिवारों में स्थिति के आधार पर उच्च से निम्न में रैंक करें. रैंक दीज हाउसहोल्ड गुड्स फ्रॉम हाई टू लो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पोजेशन इन रूरल हाउसहोल्ड्स. रूरल हाउसहोल्ड्स में ये जो चीजें हैं, घरेलू चीजें हैं, हाउसहोल्ड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, इन्हें आपको रैंक करना है फ्रॉम हाई टू लो कि कौन सा प्रोडक्ट ऐसा होगा जो एक घर में बहुत ज्यादा होगा. एंड कीप इन माइंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रूरल हाउसहोल्ड्स. आपके ऑप्शंस हैं एयर कंडीशनर, कूलर, पानी पंप विच इज अ वाटर पंप, अ फ्रिज, रेफ्रिजरेटर और वॉशिंग मशीन. In terms of possession in rural households, if you rank these household goods from high to low, ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर आप स्लोली भी दे सकते हैं बिकॉज यू हैव टू डू अ लिटिल थिंकिंग. थोड़ा समझना पड़ता है कि क्या पूछा गया है और क्या हो सकता है. And here I think you can take your time because not many get this correct. So even if you get it correct, okay. So see, none of you got this correct. तो जो correct order है, that is fridge, then a water pump, air conditioner, cooler, and then a washing machine. So refrigerator, about 25.2% people, rural people have it. Water pump 17.3%. I also thought water pump शायद ऊपर होगा थोड़ा, but we have refrigerator at the top, and then we have air conditioner or cooler with 15.8%, and washing machine at the lowest out of all of these, 9%. So इस question के बाद I think there's no change on the scoreboard, so we'll go on to our next question. शहरी भारत की तुलना में ग्रामीण भारत में अधिक लोगों के पास घर है. More people in rural India own a house than in urban India. We're comparing rural India with urban India in terms of people owning a house. क्या आपके हिसाब से ये सही है या गलत? We're saying कि more people in rural India own a house than in urban India. 24 of you got this correct. ये सही है. Urban India में it's lesser people who actually own a house, own a house specifically. It's at about 65%. और rural India में ये ज्यादा है. ज्यादा लोग जो हैं they own a house, चाहे वो house छोटा ही क्यों ना हो या जैसा भी हो, but they own a house. It's about 76.4%. And with this, we'll go on to the scoreboard once again, जहाँ पर कुछ change हुआ है. We have some new names on the scoreboard. We have Kishore, Divine, Gaurav, Meeti, and Pratham, who are on the scoreboard right now. चलते हैं हमारे next question की तरफ, जो कि एक puzzle question है. एक बार फिर से आपको rank करना होगा for double points, for your double efforts. स्कूल छोड़ने वाली महिलाओं की संख्या के आधार पर स्कूल छोड़ने के इन कारणों को उच्च से निम्न में रैंक करें. You have to rank these reasons for dropping out of school from high to low on the basis of number of females who dropped out. तो जिस reason की वजह से आपको लगता है कि a female must have dropped out the most, वो reason सबसे पहले आएगा. और आपके options हैं शादी कर ली है, या फिर उन लड़कियों को भेजना सुरक्षित नहीं लगता, या बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा होता है स्कूलिंग से, या घरेलू काम में उनके लिए आवश्यकता होती है. Your options are they've either got married, या फिर it's not safe to send girls, or it costs too much, or they're required for household work. Wow, not bad at all. 5 of you got this correct. I think pehla question thoda sa you have to take it a little slowly to understand how you have to do the puzzle question. But this one, I'm glad that 5 of you got this correct. So ये जो reasons हैं, the correct order is सबसे ज़्यादा जो लड़कियां हैं जिन्होंने drop out किया है, that is because it costs too much, which is at about 20.6, यानी कि बहुत ज़्यादा खर्चा. Then we have the required for household work, यानी कि वो लड़कियां जो लड़कियां हैं वो घरेलू काम के लिए आवश्यक होती हैं, which is at about 13%. 6%, 6.8% जो females है, they dropped out because उनकी शादी हो गई थी, and 2%, about 2% don't feel it safe to send girls to school, and that's why the girls have dropped out. So with this, these 5 of you who got double points are okay here. Just the same names, but slight shift. So we have Gaurav, Pratham, Kishore on the first, second, third positions respectively. And then we have Tushar and Divine. And with this question, Ashish, who's playing with us for the first time, and I see he's the highest climber. So chalte hain hamare agle question ki taraf. I think we have about three questions left more. So there's still a chance of you winning. भारत में पुरुषों की तुलना में अधिक महिलाएं नियमित रूप से मास मीडिया के संपर्क में आती हैं. More women than men are exposed to mass media in India regularly. क्या आपके हिसाब से ये सही है या गलत? हम कह रहे हैं कि ज्यादा महिलाएं जो हैं they come in contact with mass media on a regular basis in our country. This could be newspapers, magazines, cinema, any form of mass media, television. Okay, 13 of you got this correct. Ye galat hai. Majority went with stating that the statement was true. Jo aapko data that's provided to you, it says that 41% of women jo hai, they are not exposed to mass media regularly, and 32% men are not exposed to mass media regularly. So that tells us about 59% of jo women hai, they're actually exposed to media regularly, and 68% of men are exposed to media regularly. So more men are actually exposed to media on a regular basis in our country. So with this, we move on to our second last question, but we have the scoreboard once again. I think same names, but a slight shift. So we'll go on to our next question. 2015-21 से सी सेक्शन डिलीवरी की दर में 5% की वृद्धि हुई. The rate of C-section deliveries increased by 5% from 2015 to 2021. C-section यानी कि जो cesarean births होते हैं, डिलीवरी के जो 2 तरीके हैं, उनमें से एक है C-section and normal delivery. So we're talking about C-section. उसमें पिछले जो 2015 से 21 के बीच में 5% की increase हुआ है. This is correct. 21 of you got this correct. If you look at the increase, it is from 17% in 2015-16 to 22% in 2019-21. So that's about 5% of increase overall. And this is particularly common. ये जो C-section delivery है, it is particularly common in private sector health facilities, which is about 48% of the delivery. So with this, our scoreboard one last time, we have Kishore, Gaurav, Tushar, Divine, Pratham. I think the same numbers are same names are here. They're just changing their scores. Or Dipankar is the highest climber with this one. I'm really interested to see who's going to win our quiz. Or last question के बाद हम in questions की जो source है उसको भी आपके साथ share करेंगे. It is all the NFHS data, which is the latest NFHS report. तो चलते हैं हमारे last question की तरफ. All the best. It's a double point question. 12 से 23 महीने की आयु के उन बच्चों का प्रतिशत जिन्होंने सभी बुनियादी टीकाकरण प्राप्त किए हैं. Percentage of children aged 12 to 23 months who received all basic vaccination. 97%, 57%, 77%, or 87%. We're asking for the percentage of children who are aged 12 to 23 months who have received all basic vaccination that a child needs to get. Okay, 12 of you, majority. It's really interesting to see majority giving the correct answer, which is fun. And this is actually up. This percentage is actually up from 62% in 2015-16, जो इससे पहले जो NFHS survey हुआ था. And over 4/5, about 84% of children received 3 doses of hepatitis B vaccine. So with this, we've come to an end of our quiz. और अब हम देखेंगे कि हमारे आज के quiz के winners कौन हैं. So the podium for our Hindi quiz, third position पे आज है प्रथम. Second place we have Gaurav, and first position we have Kishore. Congratulations to all three of you. Runners up हमारे quiz के हैं Anna and Ayush. I think Anna was not on the scoreboard for most of the questions, but she's the runner-up, which I think is which tells you that the scoreboard can change any time and you need to be there till the end. I hope कि आपको आज का quiz अच्छा लगा हो, that you've enjoyed. Please claim your prizes within 24 hours. Chat box में आपको एक link provide किया गया है, so उसके through आप अपने जो books हैं उन्हें claim कर सकते हैं. And for those who've not received their previous books, you can write to us at connect@indiafactquiz.com. और हम आपको एक update, we'll give you the update for your book. And thank you so much for joining us today. We're glad that we had this quiz for you. We hope to see you again next week. And till then, take care.